Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Computer Science and Engineering Workshop. This is your host, Dick speaking. And in today's video, part 5 of our HTML and CSS Basics tutorial series, we will be talking about CSS Pseudo Classes. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. So a pseudo class is the class name that we use to style a specific element in its special state. So say for an example, let's say that we checked a checkbox and then we want the text of its label to be bold. So we use class $checked for that. We also need to mention that we want to style its label, but that's another thing. So, or let's say that we want a link to be underlined when we hover on top of it and to change its color, the color of its text. So we use the hover pseudo class. So without further ado, let's get our hands dirty. Okay, so what I did is I went ahead and built the basic structure of my HTML document. I'm also going to be linking a CSS file and then be creating a style.css file. And I've also set up my live preview on the right side of your window. You should be able to see it on the right side of this video. From the title, we can see that it's working. So first things first, I'm just going to go ahead and remove the white space, margin 0, adding 0. And then I'm just going to give a background color. Let's see, let's just use what was that? There was this nice color. What was it called? Actually, you know what, let's just use this maybe. It doesn't really matter. Let's just use dark sea green. Apparently that's a color. Next, so on top of my page I want to have a header, and let's have it say I don't know, CSS is fun. So I'm just gonna, let's see what, before I forget, font, family, sans serif. The default font is just unbearable. We also forgot to give it a class. We don't really need to. We can just say h1, hover, and then we can type color and have it be dark slate blue. That kind of looks like purple to me, but I don't know. I'm not an expert on colors, whatever. So as you can see, when we hover on top of this, this actually changes color to purple, except it's not purple, it's dark slate blue. But this is not how we want to do it, because when you're defining it like that, you're defining it for every single h1 element. So I'm just going to give it a class. Let's just call it header1. So we're going to come here, we're going to type dot header1, double dots hover, and then color. Let's have it be floral white this time. As I said, I'm not an expert on colors. So next. Okay, so the next pseudo class I want to be talking about is the focus pseudo class. So input type text, let's just have a basic text type input, and this time let's just give it the idea of text1. So here what I want to do is ID text1, and then let's give it a width of let's say 150 pixels. So what you're gonna be, did I do it correctly? Did it change its size? Oh, okay, it did. Okay, so this is actually a nice trick that a friend of mine once showed me to style these. So we're gonna be using the focus class, which is the state of this when we're all focusing on it. So when we click here, now it's focused. When we don't, it's no longer focused. So let's just give it a width of 300 pixels. Let's just double its width. And as you can see, it is doubling. And to make the transition smoother, I'm just going to use the transition attributes and give it a transition of 200 milliseconds. So it's going to be taking 0.2 seconds. A millisecond is like 1,000th of an actual second. So you can use this as well. One thing we can also do is we can actually give it a padding to make it even better. So let's just call it 7 pixels by 14 pixels. This ratio actually worked nice for me in the past. I mean, the page itself is a bit small, so let's just call it 250 to see if it actually looks nice. Yeah, I think it looks fine. So let's keep going on. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the checked pseudo class. So I actually believe I talked about it in the previous video. We actually styled some radio type and checkbox type inputs, and today in this video we're going to be styling checkbox type inputs with the class of check. So we won't be needing name for the sake of this video, so I'm just going to get rid of it. We're going to give this the ID of C1. We're going to come down here label. It's going to be for C1, and then what this label is going to say is check1. So I'm just going to use the break tag because I don't want these on the same line. There we go. So I'm just going to copy paste this 3 times. So every single time I click these, it's just gonna check this one, the C1. These are not recognized because there can only be one C1 because it's an ID, yada yada yada. So this is going to be for C2. We're gonna name the ID C2, and then it's just gonna say check2. So now it's not checking this one, and then we're gonna do the same thing here, except this time it's gonna be C3. So let's move on. Okay, so I don't want these on the same line, so I'm just going to use the break tag. Normally what you want to do is you want to style these properly, but for the sake of this video I'm just going to do it like this. Okay, so let's see. Now we have 3 checkboxes with the class of check, so class check. So what we want to style here though is the checkboxes themselves. So, oh boy, wait, did I type it correctly? Wait, this is not, is it? Did I? Oh, well, whatever. Okay, so checked. So when these are checked, what we want happening is we don't want to style the boxes themselves. We want to style the labels. So we're just gonna type the label that comes after the checked check. We want the, well, let's see. Let's just change the text color for now. My throat's a bit hurting, so let's call it indigo. So let's check this one, and as you can see, the color is indigo. Let's just make the font weight, I don't know, 900. I'm just gonna call it. So it's very, very bold right now. And actually, you know what? Let's give it a background color. Let's make the background khaki. I'm not an expert on colors, but whatever. So the next thing that I actually want to do here is, let's see, I just want to go ahead and say this display none to get rid of the wait, what? Display none. Oh, it's not the, God, I typed ID, not class. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, there is no longer that ugly box. Maybe you want it, maybe you don't. It's really up to you what you want to do with it. So I'm just gonna give this a default background color of, you know what, let's just make it khaki always. Make the background color. Wait, what? Why is this? Oh, wait, because we didn't. Oh God, I'm a moron. And also, why did it change font though? Oh, okay, there we go. It's back to normal now. Okay, so what I did wrong there was actually try to give the checkbox itself a background color, not its label, even though it's not displaying. Why is this like this? I don't know. Okay, it's just back to normal, whatever. So I just want the label to have a background color of khaki, I think. Yep. There we go. It's still like this. I don't know what's happening. Then again, it's not that important. Okay, so if you pay attention to the time at the bottom right side of your window, it's now 12:40. Almost, I mean, it's 12:39, whatever. So you may have noticed the positioning of the elements. So the footage was corrupted, so I'm actually recording this post-edit, but basically what I did is I actually went ahead and decided to add a checkbox div for my checkboxes to, well, properly style them. I also added a padding to these labels, and then centered everything. So to center everything we have, what I actually did was use text line center on the parent container of everything. So we actually have a header and then just input elements here. It should work fine. Typically with inline elements it should work just fine. So yeah, this is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe given that you found the video educational or helpful by any means. And as usual, keep improving, and see you guys in the next video.